ritual that honors the liturgical year and a sense of homecoming back to faith, back to community. We've had people bring water from vacation spots or travel spots or just from their own homes. We have water that has come from places like Uluru Rock in area in Australia and Krakow and a home sink. So all kinds of places. So you are so welcome. In a moment, I will invite you to bring your water, your small bit of water, and pour it into one of the outside bowls here. And then later in the service, we will pour those into the common bowl. And one thing I forgot to say in the last service is the water then is boiled, sterilized, and used for child dedications, baby blessings here throughout the year. It is a beautiful ritual that inspires and uplifts us all at the beginning of our church program year. I would like to light a candle this morning to honor the indigenous land we are worshiping on today. We offer gratitude for the first people, the indigenous Americans who cultivated this land, and we humbly honor their struggle now as protectors of the water. As drops of rain that find each other and build to become a track, a rivulet, a stream, a river, a sea, so we are drawn together. So are we fortunate to find each other. So are we bound together on this shared passage toward an unknown ocean and eternity. I invite you now to bring your water forward from far away or nearby lands into one of these bowls around the center bowl.
Our first hymn of this new church year is the first hymn in the Teal hymnal. It's called Morning Has Come by the Reverend Jason Shelton, who will be here with us next Sunday. It's a big sing. It's the first one in the Teal hymnal if you want to look at it. If not, lyrics are on the screen. Please rise in body or in spirit. Go for it, Travis. Morning has come, arise and greet the day. Dance with joy and sing a song of gladness. The light of hope here shines upon each face. May it bring faith to guide our journey home. A new day dawns, once more the gift is given. Wonder We are so glad you are here. It is the best place to be every Sunday morning in Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, a beloved community that changes lives. I'm Kay Golan, and I'm so glad you're here this morning. Wherever you are from and whomever you love, you are welcome here. If this is your first time, or if you've not had the chance, please stop by our Welcome Center in the Social Hall. You can sign up to receive information about services and programs being presented over the next several weeks. For folks wanting to know more about UUCA and Unitarian Universalism, please join our weekly Inquirers class at 12:30 in room 1 off the Social Hall. Also today in the sanctuary at 12:30 is a class on ethics and research. We offer a rich variety of spiritual growth opportunities for all ages, and they begin next Sunday. Today we welcome children of all ages to worship with us here in the sanctuary. Excellent child care with special activities for children under 5 is available in room 2. And now for a special announcement from Reverend Taryn.
So in your order of service, you have an insert that is inviting you to do something very special that we are so honored to be able to do. For the past few years, we have been joining one of our members, Joy Bora, and our youth group raising money for a library in a community in Ghana. Well, that library has been built. It's very exciting. This is the library that we funded, and now they would like for us to name the library. And so this means we want your participation. We have narrowed it down to some options, but actually there's also fill in the blank if you have some inspiration for this library in Ghana. They want to paint the new name on the wall of this library, I think in just a couple of weeks. So now is the time, if you'll take a moment at some point before you leave this morning, to check your favorite name or to write in a new inspiration for the name of this library, and it will, whichever name gets the most votes, that will be the name of that library. It's very exciting, and I believe that Joy will be on hand on the way out to receive your insert. So your insert will become a ballot, and you will drop it off in the social hall. Oh, okay, the social hall or that door. So both options on your way out. There are bags. So 2 places to do that. We are so grateful to Joy for all of her work with this, to the youth group for all of their work fundraising, and we are so excited and honored to have this opportunity to name a library in Ghana. Thank you.
And now, please take a moment to put your cell phone in its most reverent position. Thank you. And once again, we're so glad you're here this morning for our beautiful water communion.
At this time, I would like to invite all those religious education teachers for the 2019-2020 program year to come forward. You will help us light our chalice, and we will commission you for your holy work this year. And Don will join me in that commissioning. Our religious education teachers, oh, here's one more. Nice. Our religious education teachers dedicate their time on Sunday morning to the work of growing souls. They share their energy, their leadership, and their true selves with our children and our youth, giving them both roots and also wings. Today we commission them to their essential work among us. You will give our children and youth roots, a safe ground to explore and question.
You will give them wings to rise to their own identity.
You will cultivate roots and build us a community of learners and seekers.
You will cultivate wings, propelling them toward their own voice.
You will dig roots, a strong foundation of Unitarian Universalist identity.
You will craft wings, a faith to return to again and again.
And now this next part is for all the kids out there, kids, children, and youth. Won't you please rise for this part? You can do it. I see you. You have a part to play. All you have to do is repeat after me and say to these people, your teachers, your RE teachers, we honor your work with us. Your turn. All right, one more time. Okay.
Make us believe you.
All right, now I would like to believe that you honor it. Okay, with feeling. Ready? We honor your work with us.
We honor your work with us.
We are grateful for you.
We are grateful for you.
Let me hear it again. We are grateful for you.
We are grateful for you.
And now for the rest of the congregation, repeat after me. We see your commitment.
We see your commitment.
And we offer you our gratitude.
We offer you our gratitude.
Let us show these teachers and guides and mentors our exuberant appreciation for their holy work among us. And now I'm going to put Laura Yamashita on the spot and invite her to light the chalice this morning. As we all say the words that are up on your screen or in your order of service, our chalice lighting words. You can. May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace. The light of our chalice flame also symbolizes the warmth of community. So won't you please take a minute now to turn to someone you don't yet know and let them know you are glad they are here.
I'm glad you are here.
And now we come to that vague part of the order of service that says words. So here's some words. A year ago, we had a lot going on at UUCA, and a lot going on. And we neglected to honor a very important moment for this community. And it was the 10-year anniversary of Don Milton's work here as director of music. So this happened last time. I was like, what about the words? We haven't even had the words. Don is easy to shop for. It does not take long to learn his likes, which are, among other things, music, travel, Hamilton, Michigan, great food, absurd humor, interesting new food, things that inspire awe, his dog, Ender, the magic of the theater, even when it's bad, flight or hotel upgrades, people discovering their voice or other talent they never knew, people enjoying life, hyperbolic statements, community. His dislikes, the empty part of half a glass, hearing I can't, stagnant energy, complacency, injustice, and other bummers. Also teams Michigan plays against, imagine. The truth is, it is thrilling to work with you, Don. It is not every day you meet someone who is both talented and generous, who genuinely loves to collaborate, who never tires of new ideas, who joyfully admits his own limits while also attempting to do things he's never done before, like at the same time. It is truly rare to find a music director who really cares about the entire congregation, the whole staff, and really wants to be a helpful leadership presence. And I've been around, so I can say this with some authority. It is rare to have a colleague like you. Don makes people feel safe and confident enough to take creative risks, and that is a humbling skill. I have seen this choir, and you have too, feel brave and safe enough to explore, to do some weird things, to risk, and to keep risking, all in the name of art. I have seen Don walk the tightrope of joyful, playful leadership while also keeping his commitment to a specific artistic vision. Now, you know what I'm talking about, choir. This is a fine balance. This congregation is so blessed to have such a joyful, creative, dynamic, and flat-out talented music director. And so we have given him the gift that he so often gives to us, the chance to go on an adventure, to explore new heights of imagination and possibility. We've given him 2 tickets to the Rocket and Space Museum in Huntsville, Alabama. Won't you please join me in celebrating Don's 11th year anniversary as the music director of UUCA. He's the harbinger of joy. He's the instigator of holy beauty. He's the stormer of brains, the brainstormer, Don Milton III. Nobody can deny, he's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow.
Thanks, everybody. So in the spirit of pushing the envelope, this is a pickup choir this morning. Choir starts on Wednesday. Everybody's welcome. Starts at 7:30 on Wednesday. A pickup choir this morning. We're going to sing a Nigerian song about the sunrise, about coming together.
morning. The story for all ages will be the everything seed. Have you ever watched a seed grow? Have you ever noticed how it begins so small, so still, and so quiet, like a gift waiting to be opened? And how slowly it wakes up, begins to unfold, growing into something larger and larger and larger? Then you know that whatever comes from a seed usually ends up looking a very little bit like the seed that it came from, which is also true of the very first seed. Once, long, long ago, way back before the beginning, so long that there is no such thing as time, because there was no one there to count it. Everywhere was a huge, deep, mysterious place, like something waiting to happen. There were no stars, no sun or moon. There was no place like Earth, not a drop of water or a single tree or a rock or a flower, and no living beings anywhere. But in that deep, waiting space was hidden the tiniest point of something no bigger than a seed. It was not a flower seed. It was not an elm tree seed. It was not a seed of corn. Although all of those things were included in this seed. You might call it an everything seed, because that's what it became. No one knows where that first seed came from, or how it was planted, or how it knew in the way that only a seed knows. How long to wait for just the right moment to sprout and grow. But all at once, that tiny seed, cradled and nourished in the rich soil of space, woke up. It broke open and began to unfold, unfolding, and blossoming forth into an enormous, blazing ball of bright light, like a great-grandmother's sun. And the universe was born. Out fluttered the galaxies like a storm of snowflakes, swirling and gathering into the brightest, most blindingly beautiful clouds of stars. And out of those star clouds whirled our star, the one we call the sun, and our Earth, and our moon, and all of the round, spinning planets that we have now learned how to name. And this is the secret of the tiny seed. You and I were there in the very beginning. Just as the idea for each leaf on a big oak tree lies hidden inside an acorn, we were there. With all of the stars and the planets, all of the rocks and oceans, plants and animals and people, everything that is now, ever was, or ever will be, was inside that first tiny seed. So whenever you hold a seed in your hand and wonder what it could become, imagine how you and all that is here once came from the tiniest speck of the everything seed before it sprouted and grew long, long ago in the way back beginning of time. Now, if this were an ordinary story, it would end right here. But this story of the universe keeps unfolding. What once began in a blazing, blossoming light continues every day. New stars sprout open in the deep soil of space. New plants and animals appear on the earth. Seeds of many kinds are scattered everywhere to help us remember. and new people are born every day. With that spark of that first light still alive and burning deep inside, waiting like the everything seed to shine in ways that are yet to be known.
And now, just listen to what we have in store for our children this coming year. Children's worship. Children will meet for a contemplative and meaningful UU worship experience at 9:30 each Sunday, led by our new Children and Youth music director, who we are hiring very soon, and our new Lifespan Religious Education director, who we're hiring right now. We are excited to announce our new Director of Lifespan Religious Education in our worship service on September the 8th. So please be here for the big reveal.
For kindergarten through second graders, they're doing a class called Love Surrounds Us. At the core of our Unitarian Universalist faith community are our 7 principles. The principles encompass all the ingredients of a good and faith-filled life based on equality, freedom, peace, acceptance, truth, care, and love. This program explores all the principles in the context of beloved community, of family and home, of school and neighborhood. We are grateful to Tina Welch, Todd Wingfield, Jane Mengel, and John Hinkle, who will teach the class together.
For third and fourth graders, we have a toolbox of faith. What tools do Unitarian Universalism offer for the challenges of life? Children discover what aspects of UU faith are helpful to them, taking the metaphor very far and developing a toolbox of faith to guide them through their lives. Joyce Lanterman and Vince Hill are excited to take on this wonderful class.
For 6th and 5th graders, they'll be doing Neighboring Faiths, exploring religious diversity in our world through visiting other faith communities and worshiping with them. For each faith tradition they study, there is an introduction visit to a religious community or a guest speaker who comes to the class, a bit of comparative religion information, and then the kids reflect on the experience together. Isn't this a class you would love to take as an adult? Don't forget to thank our fabulous teachers, Dandy Prince-Lew, Margaret Williams, and Liebs Liebman.
For 7th and 8th graders, Our Whole Lives. Honest, accurate information about sexuality changes lives. It dismantles stereotypes and assumptions, builds self-acceptance and self-esteem, fosters healthy relationships, improves decision-making, and has the potential to save lives. For these reasons and more, we are proud of Our Whole Lives, or OWL, a comprehensive lifespan sexuality education curricula geared towards 7th and 8th graders and all the transitions they are going through. We honor those teachers, Erin Dill, Alex Guyton, Brianna Williams, and Hannah Pashaw.
This is a coming of age year, which means our 8th and 9th graders will be meeting monthly with their mentors to explore their personal theology, their spiritual path, and their values. We, as a congregation, always look forward to the culminating event of coming of age when the 8th and 9th graders will present their credos to this entire congregation at a worship service this coming spring. Thanks to Barry Weiner, Andrea Clay, and Sally Honeycutt, and all the mentors who are leading this dynamic group of young UUs.
For our young religious UUs, 9th through 12th grade, with Ayanna Stringer at the helm, who just read you that wonderful story, this is shaping up to be an exciting year for YRUU. Our energetic youth advisors, Letta Wu, Alan Lee, James Richards, are committed to taking the spiritual lives of our youth seriously and offering them ways to deepen and explore spiritual practice. to do informed service and social justice action projects together, to develop their leadership skills, and to create bonds that will last a lifetime.
And finally, also during the 11 a.m. slot, we will have creative arts workshops for kindergarten through 5th grade. We will offer children's choir, teaching our children to know and love UU hymns, to learn the rhythm of being in community, and to prepare for our fabulous UU Christmas pageant in December.
And there you have it, this year's religious education offerings for our children and youth. Don't you all want to attend one? I know I do. From worship to class curricula to a special second-hour creative arts workshop and children's choir. But we can't do this without your help. We are a self-sustaining community that can grow only as far as energy and time and money, and we put it to good use. Together, we can make it happen. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
Which is a joke. People tell all the time that if you put 100 Unitarians in a room and ask for an opinion, you're going to get at least 101. I think the same thing is true when you talk about spiritual journeys. And this song is by Peter Mayer, who wrote Blue Boat Home. You may know him. And it talks about his own spiritual journey, where he grew up in a Christian faith, and that expanded. It could be a Jewish faith or a Muslim faith, or like mine, an atheist faith. But the fact that in Unitarian Universalism, it expanded into something else. It's called Holy Now. When I was a kid, each week, on Sunday we would go to church. We'd pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy words. He'd consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would read about the time that Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still, but now I can't keep track. Everything's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small. An even better magic trick is anything is here at all. And so the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, but finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, I barely wet my fingertips, but now I've gotta hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. This used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. Now I walk with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. Will that be very hard to say? See another new morning come, say it's not a sacrament. I'm telling you it can't be done. This morning I looked outside. I saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush. It was reading like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out. How things have changed since then. Everything is holy now. This used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down. But I walk with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now.
I was just about to remind Dick that he's holy too. That's what that means. And you are. And you're holy. And that means you're holy. And that means that what we have going on here, right here, is a miracle. Can I get an amen? Amen. That we can have a community that seeks and celebrates joy and hope when hope is hard to find. And that teaches its children well. That cares for each other, cares for our collective future, and works for a better one. That's what this place is. And it is a miracle to be a part of it. Blessings on this offering. May the gift go far and wide, touch many lives. Won't you join with me now and say the words in your order of service or on the screen as we dedicate the offering. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community, we dedicate our lives and these our offerings.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my heart. There's a river flowing in my heart, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my heart.
Let us put hands upon hearts. Feel the warm connection there. Let love in this moment flow. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. And that love will heal the world. Now the joys and sorrows of this beloved community. We send our love to the family of longtime beloved UUCA member Fred Vermillion, who died on Monday, August 12th. We will honor and celebrate Fred's life on what would have been his 90th birthday, the weekend of November 16th. Please stay tuned for more details about Fred's celebration of life at UUCA. We hold Jen Bain in our hearts during this abundant time of family milestones. On August 16th, her father celebrated his 88th birthday with his standing tennis game. On August 26th, her parents celebrate their 63rd wedding anniversary. And Labor Day marks 1 year since her brother experienced a major medical event. He has since made a full and rapid recovery. They are so grateful. We celebrate with Jen and her family. At this time, I invite you to say out loud the names of people you are holding in your heart this morning. This time, I invite you to consider a place on this earth that needs our love and send it there. I want to invite you to do something a little different this morning. I will lead you in a movement prayer that was taught to me by Reverend Sarah York. Won't you please rise in body or in spirit and join me in this movement prayer? First, we bow to honor the spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of spirit. We bring those gifts unto ourselves with gratitude and breathe. Smile. We share the gifts of spirit with the whole world. We remember to be present. Just a soft clap. Honor. Embrace. With gratitude. Share. Be present. Amen. Namaste. Blessed be.
There's a river flowing in my mind. There's a river flowing in my mind, and it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing. There's a river flowing in my soul.
I've known rivers. I've known ancient rivers, ancient as the world and older than the flow of human blood in human veins. My soul has grown deep like the rivers. I bathed in the Euphrates when dawns were young. I built my hut near the Congo, and it lulled me to sleep. I looked upon the Nile and raised the pyramids above it. I heard the singing of the Mississippi when Abe Lincoln went down to New Orleans, and I've seen its muddy bosom turn all golden in the sunset. I've known rivers, ancient, dusky rivers. My soul has grown deep like the rivers.
As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown? Good Lord, show me the way.
Oh, sisters, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on down. Oh, sisters, let's go down. Down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the throne and crown. Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on down. Oh, brothers, let's go down. Down in the river to pray. Studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown. Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, fathers, let's go down. Let's go down. Come on down. Oh, fathers, let's go down. Down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown. Good Lord, show me the way. Oh, mothers, let's go down. Come on down, don't you want to go down? Come on, mothers, let's go down. Down in the river to pray. As I went down in the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall wear the starry crown?
summer is passing. School will begin. School has begun. The fall fast approaches. This water celebration is a way to mark this momentous time of endings and beginnings. It was a gift to us all from out of the spirituality of Unitarian Universalist women, whose wonder was inspired by the fact that water is one of the most important, vital things there is. It makes its mark in so many ways. Eons ago, life was born out of it. Life is virtually impossible without it. And it is powerful. Give it enough time and it will carve stone. It will leave Grand Canyons in its wake. But water is also a symbol of surpassing beauty. It resonates, it ripples. It symbolizes the depth of spiritual life. As when we sing, "There's a river flowing in my soul." Or when the poet says, "My soul has grown deep like the rivers." And then there's the way water symbolizes the beloved community as drops of rain that find each other and build to become a track, a rivulet, a stream, a river, a sea. So we are drawn together. So are we fortunate to find each other. So are we bound together on this shared passage toward an unknown ocean and eternity. What orients you in a place? When I moved to Atlanta, I stood in Midtown, the center. I looked to the left of me and saw no water. To the right of me, no water. To the north, no water. To the south. And it was then I realized all my life I have lived in cities centered around water. In Chicago, there was Lake Michigan and the Chicago River. Then in Knoxville, there was the Tennessee River running through town. In Asheville, the French Broad River. In New York City, well, water everywhere. Atlanta, as you know, is a rail town, and its most notable natural feature are its glorious tall hickory, maple, river birch trees that make up the canopy we rely on in weeks such as these. Our nearest water source, the Chattahoochee River, doesn't run through the very center of the city, but it is 430 miles of flowing glory, home to over 20 species of fish, supporting a vast ecosystem near many of your homes, as I heard between services. Now, parenting twin toddlers through all their extreme mood swings, James, my husband, and I have a phrase we repeat: be the stone in the rushing river. But other seasons and other places in our lives, we must be instead like the river, flowing, following the liturgical year, following the pull of a current that calls us towards a common destiny. Twisting, turning, we can surrender to a flow that carries each one of us. There is a season to just letting yourself be carried, to drop down into a powerful force pulling you along. What do you need to let go of right now as this church year begins? What are you holding on to as we look back to a past ministry and forward to a new ministry? What keeps you pushing back, like the stone pushing past the river's flow? Ponder what it is in your heart. Release what you need to release. Old habits, old expectations, what is it? And use this as a moment to remember your commitment to your faith, to community, and to going with the flow. There are times to swim against the current, but this is the time to let go, to release what is needed, so you can find strength and beauty and comfort in the common flow of the current. This is why the water celebration is a moment to remember and to reconnect. We end the summer, we begin a program year inspired by the many meanings of water, helping us remember our purpose. Our purpose is to be like the water, to be like the river and channel its power, to give life, to go deep, to flow toward beloved community. As the Reverend Mark Morrison Reed says, the religious community is essential, for alone our vision is too narrow to see all that must be seen, and our strength too limited to do all that must be done. Together our vision widens, and our strength is renewed. Let this be on our minds and in our hearts as we now complete the water celebration. Will the members of our Board of Trustees of this congregation please come forward? And Don. Christian Harden, Jennifer Thilo, Bryce Thomason, John Johnson, Sean Golan, Jen Bain, John Duggar, David Spearman, and Sharon Glass. Let these leaders in our midst represent our collective efforts to give life and to go deep, to be beloved community. As each bowl of water is poured into the central bowl, let us think of how together we are more powerful than when we act alone. And let us say, our water is sacred. Let's practice that together.
Our water is sacred.
It is made sacred by the many hands that have poured it with intention and love, the many stories that each drop contains, the many lives surrounding it in this unique moment, connected by commitment and faith. Jennifer will pour the first bowl of water. Will the congregation say with me, our water is sacred.
This water is sacred. May it continue to flow through this community with shining reflections of the unique gifts that flow through each of its members.
John Johnson, will you pour water in?
Our water
is sacred. May it continue to nurture this community with sustaining hope that we journey together through ripples of growth and change. Sean. Our water is sacred.
May it continue to bless this community with loving reminders of our collective responsibility to one another and to the world.
David.
Our water is sacred.
May its ripples be a reminder that the changes and growth within this community bring movement and transformation to the world beyond our doors. Jennifer.
Our water
is sacred.
May its purity offer grace to our community and the willingness to forgive ourselves and one another when we make mistakes. Our water is sacred.
In moments where we are confused or uncertain, may it bring us clarity of purpose and commitment.
The water wears away a path leading to the unknown.
May the water remind us we travel hand in hand, never alone. Now, Christian.
Our water is sacred.
Let there be a river flowing in the soul.
Let our souls grow deep like the rivers.
Our water celebration comes to an end.
Our final hymn this morning will be the congregation's favorite hymn, number 1064, Blue Boat Home. Please rise in body or in spirit. Sharon's going to join me on a drum. I don't need it. below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean. Still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now. Never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry seas, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the light of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on. Greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth